Okay, so
Okay,
let's
sir, no
begin.
problem.
Let's begin. So thank you very much, guys. So today we're gonna have another look on verb. So first of all, as usual, what do you do? Because this is the advanced approach of learning the verbs and other things. So today we will be having ideas about verb and adverb because both of these parts of speeches they go hand in hand. Okay, so we are gonna learn verb and adverb. So now first let's have a look how Merriam-Webster things about verbs. Now, what already, Merriam-Webster is American Standard Dictionary and it's internationally recognized dictionary. Everybody goes, there is Oxford, Cambridge, and Merriam-Webster, and Collins Dictionary also. So I think now, after reading this book, you are getting the ideas about the what best dictionaries. So Merriam-Webster Dictionary says a word that characteristically is the grammatical center. Look into that. Grammatical center, mark it, guys. Grammatical center of a predicate and expresses an act, occurrence, or mood of being. So expresses what? An act, occurrence, or mood of being that in various languages is inflected for agreement with the subject. It sometimes agrees with the subject. I mean, it always agrees with the subject. For tenses, for voice, for mood, or for aspect. And that typically has rather full descriptive meaning and characterizing quality, but is sometimes nearly devoid of this, especially when used as an auxiliary or linking verb. So Merriam-Webster has done a great job. They have given you a paragraph instead to understand verb. Now, if you don't understand this part, not a problem. Let's go for Oxford Dictionary. What is Oxford Dictionary saying about it? Well, a word, it's pretty simple. A word used to describe an action, state, or occurrence, and forming the main part of the predicate. There are two things. In a sentence, you'll always find two things, a subject and the predicate. So the whole part except for subject is predicate. Okay, so no worries. A word used to describe an action, state, or occurrence and forming the main part of the predicate of a sentence, such as hear, become, happen, is a verb. So that is Oxford Dictionary. I think it's even easier. You already know what is a verb. Now we are learning it from the horse's mouth. Now horse's mouth, what does it mean? Is any horse talking here? No. Horse's mouth. Hearing from the horse's mouth mean hearing for the main person. Okay, the authentic source. So these are the authentic source. These are the valid sources, reputed sources. So we are learning from the horse's mouth. I think you understand. It's another phrase, note it down. Now there is Cambridge. Cambridge says a word or a group of words. Oh my God, where I am. Sorry. Guys, can you see the page? Can you see it? Hello?
No,
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, I can see.
Okay, I just clicked on Oxford Dictionary and I just went there. Okay, I'm sorry for that, for the little disruption. Okay, let's get into the business again. So Cambridge said a word or group of words. So now they are giving you more details. Group, one word, or can be a group of words. Now, when I will teach you the complex verb, you will get the idea clearly then why they are calling a group of words. Now, Cambridge is being more precise. So it could be a word or a group of words that refers to an action, state, or experience. For example, the word arrive, make, be, and feel are verbs. Well, what about dictionary.com? Dictionary.com is the world's most popular one also on online. Whatever you are searching, you are getting the results directly from dictionary.com. Okay. Any members of a class of words that function as the main elements of predicates that typically expresses action, state, or relation between two things, and that may be inflected for tense, aspect, voice, mood. I mean, maybe changed for tense, except voice, mood, and to show agreement with their subject or object is a verb. Well, now Igor, your book that is grammar points. Now grammar points always makes things easier. I think you guys know that, right? So let's see what grammar points says here. Do you see the part of grammar points here, guys? Do you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I think you can see it. Here, grammar point says the center word, now the center word of a predicate that describes an action, state, or occurrence is a verb. Now, isn't it easy? The center word, I mean the main word, I mean not even main, the center word of a predicate. So predicate center of the predicate. And what is the predicate? Anything except for the subject is predicate. So let's see here, if we count from there. This is the subject, the center word of a predicate. That is the subject. And the other thing, the whole thing is predicate here. I mean, this is the predicate. So is the verb here, main verb. And there is another clause, so that describes is also a verb. The center word of a predicate that describes an action, especially the word that describes an action, state, or occurrence, is a verb. Well, no worries. We are going to have another detailed lesson on verb. We are learning all types of verbs, but today we are giving you another, deep description about verbs. Now here, you are to remember these items of verbs. So now, normally, verbs are of two types. Mainly, you can categorize verbs into two. One is ordinary verb, or you can say main verb, or you can say lexical verb. Guys, get it? Get the point? So you can categorize all the verb into two. Ordinary verb, main verb, or lexical verb. The three, one name, okay? The three combines into one. And there is another segment which is auxiliary or helping verb. You get the point, guys? So helping verb or main verb or helping verb. So main verb got another two name, ordinary verb, lexical verb, whatever, not a problem. But here, auxiliary verb, you can also say helping verb. Now, ordinary, main, and lexical verb, here you find two. You find one apart. We can call them finite, okay? Ordinary, main, and lexical verb, they get another name. It's also finite. So ordinary verb, main verb, lexical verbs are actually the finite verb, okay? And finite verb gets two divisions. Finite verb gets two divisions. One is transitive, another is intransitive. So transitive is a verb that can take a direct object. For example, Zarif plays. Now, Zarif plays what? Zarif plays cricket. So cricket is the object here. That means plays is a transitive verb because a transitive verb gets an object. The same way, if you can say, I tell you. So tell is a transitive verb because after tell, you're going to write you object. But here, there is intransitive that doesn't require an object, or it cannot take an object. What is that? He never smoked. Now, he never smoked. There is no object for the verb smoked in his life. So in his life is another thing. It's a prepositional phrase. We will talk about the phrases. We're learning it, inshallah. Now, he never smoked. What does it mean? After the smoke, there is no object. So Jarif plays cricket. There is cricket. What does he play? He plays cricket. So this is the transitive verb. An intransitive verb cannot take an object. Now, you just remember that transitive verb takes an object, intransitive cannot take an object. Now, auxiliary and helping verb, there are two types of auxiliaries or helping. One is primary auxiliary, another is modal auxiliary. So primaries are three: be verb, have verb, and do verb. So be verbs are am, is, are, was, were, been, have verb, have, has, had, do verb, do, did, does, done. So these are the primary auxiliaries. Why are they primary? Because these verbs can also be used as finite verb. They are both main verb and auxiliary verb. They can be main verb and they can be auxiliary verb. Like if I say I am okay. So when they sit alone, when they they are alone in a sentence, you can call them, let me write a word for you. Like if you say, he is a good boy, okay? So in that sentence, there is just one verb, and the whole, each sentence requires a verb. So in the whole sentence, you see there is only one word, and that is, and this is alone. So that is a main verb. Now, if I write, he is told by me. Here, is told, there is another verb. Now, is, since there are two verbs, this one is considered as an auxiliary verb. I hope you guys understood that, right? Okay. Guys, have you understood that? Auxiliary and primary and modal auxiliary? And these are the modal auxiliaries. All these are modal auxiliaries. Like you see, you're going to memorize this, by the way. Can, could, may, might, shall, will, should, would, must, did, shall, it, ought to, had, better, would, rather. And remember, after modal verb, we always use base verb, okay? After modal auxiliaries, we always use base verb. And what is a base verb? A verb without base verb is a shine. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
What is that? Without am is, without is together. Without am is, was. Sorry. Base verb is a verb without s, es, ed, ing, past, and past participle. Okay, so this is actually a base verb. Okay, cool. So hope you understand that. Now, with saying that, let's move on. There are non-finite verbs also. So if there is finite verb, there must be a non-finite verb. So we see there are two types of non-finites. So here's an important note. Non-finite verbs look, non-finite verbs are actually not verbs, but look like verbs. So the thing is that non-finites are not verb, but they looks like verb. Okay, they look like verbs. Okay. Now look into that. This is a table for non-finites. You see, infinitive. There are two types of non-finite: infinitive and gerund or present participle. Okay, so infinitive. How could you say that? Any verb with two, they are not verb anymore. They are non-finite. Okay, if you see any verb with two, these are not non-finite. I mean, these are not finite. These are non-finite. Okay, non-finite means they cannot be used as a verb. They look like verb, but they're not verb anymore. So you see, still it's a verb, but when you're putting a to before a verb, then it becomes a non-finite verb. Okay, like to go, to see, to make, to save, to talk, to watch. All these are looking like verb, but they are not verb actually. Okay, so here gerund and present participle, any verb with ing, they are not verb anymore, like working, talking, doing, making, watching. I hope you understand, right, guys? So these are non-finite. You'll have a test on that finite, on verb and adverb, and that's why you need to read it again and again and again. And if you don't understand that, you can repeat my class. After I upload it on our website, you can check it. You can check back. So non-finites are the verb. They look like verb, but they are not actually a verb. Okay. So how could you get them? Any verb with to or any verb with ing. These are non-finite. Okay. Now, Shaheen, give me a non-finite verb. Tell me an non-finite verb. Let me write it. I'm writing it. Each one. Give me a non-finite verb. Shaheen.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a non-finite verb. Fast. Right. To write. Okay.
To go, to do, to work, to sing.
Yeah. Okay. Tazul was advanced before even I asked him. Okay, good. Tazul, so let me get from you. Okay, why don't you use some word that I taught you? Like
To help.
To help, yeah, fine. Who's that? Ashi. Yeah, and you said to castigate. Do you remember castigate? I taught you.
Yes, sir. Ninda
Castigate.
kora.
Yeah, you're right. So you guys get it, right? To castigate. Yeah. So remember that. Cool. To innervate, you remember the word innervate, guys? So if you don't remember it, you should watch the, read the dialogue. It will help you to remember. To innervate. Okay, who remembers the meaning of innervate? To innervate. Sap the energy out, feeling energyless. Something that makes you energyless. Okay. And do you remember the word restive? Though it's an adjective, restive.
Restless.
Okay, you remember that. So what does it mean by cock and bull story? A false story, cock and bull story, right?
False story.
Yeah.
গাঁজাখড়ি গল্প।
You are right. A false story. So do you use these phrases in your daily life? Like you say, a cat and dog life. A cat and dog life. Have you used this word, a phrase ever?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
like a
sir.
quarrel
Oh,
experience.
yeah. I mean, have you used it recently in your sentence? A cat and dog life.
We will use you if you give in the test. We will use you, inshallah.
No. Okay, test is another thing, but in your day-to-day life, do you normally use it? Cat and dog life.
Yeah, if you use in your real life, your wife is call you a spade a spade.
No. Okay, good. It doesn't mean that you always you have to use it about your wife, with your wife. You can also use it somewhere else, like the boss. Nowadays, I'm leading a very bad life with my boss. No, I am asking. I'm like all the time. I'm taking the bull by the horns, and that's why my boss and I are leading a cat and dog life. So you're using two here, okay? However, that's great. You guys should use it. Okay, I think you understand that already. So are you there? Give me a verb. I mean, infinite, non-finite verb. Soha.
To watch.
Yeah. To watch.
Yes.
Okay, great. To reminisce. Do you remember what does reminisce mean? Try to
Memory.
remember. Yeah, try to remember. You're right. Reminiscence is memory. To reminisce, try to remember. Great. You guys remember that. I love it. Okay, great. So you also try to use this word in your writing. So look, Arshi deserves a salute, thanks from us, because she literally tried to use the sentence, I mean, words and phrases in her sentence. So you guys can also follow the pathway. You can also follow the way she made it. Though I have been taking tests, but past tests, you should also try it yourself, okay? You can also write something and you can share it on our WhatsApp group, and you guys can check it out and you can give feedback. I will give feedback whenever I get time, but you can also make it a learned day, learned place. Okay, now let's move on. Adverb. So what is adverb? Let me tell you in short. Adverb is actually the persuasive speech that talks about a verb and also gives us information about an adjective. So whatever giving us an information about an adjective and also a verb is an adverb. It's very short, in short term, if you want to talk about it. Okay, let's see if I write a sentence here, like, okay, let's start from here. The extremely beautiful building. Okay, so here, look, building is a noun, right? And here,
In Qatar.
beautiful is the adjective, right? Right? Now,
Right.
The beautiful, how beautiful is that? Extremely beautiful. So the word that even describes an adjective is an adverb, right? And
Yeah,
also,
the extremely beautiful building in Qatar for World Cup.
Okay, great. Is getting destroyed gradually. Now, here another thing, you see, destroyed. Getting destroyed is a verb, is getting destroyed, the whole thing is a complex verb. Now, gradually, how is getting destroyed? Gradually. So now this word is actually talking about the verb, and this word is talking about the adjective. So adverb is a thing that can modify two things at one time. You see, adjective modify noun and pronoun, and adverb modifies verb and adjective. Guys, you understand that? So whenever you are getting word, I mean, you find that a word that is talking about the adjective and also the adverb, also the verb. This is an adverb. Now let's look into Merriam-Webster. A word belonging to one of the major form classes in any of numerous is in numerous languages, typically serving as a modifier of a verb and adjective. Oh, another thing is adverb can modify, an adverb can modify an adverb also. So adverb is a very busy person of speech. It is modifying everything here in a sentence. Look, it modify a verb, an adjective, another adverb, another preposition, a phrase, a clause, or a sentence. Okay, my good God, it's a very busy person of speech. Expressing some relation of manner or quality, place, time, degree, number, cause, opposition, affirmation, or denial, and in English, also serving to connect and to express comment on clause content in an adverb. So an adverb is actually a very busy person, very busy bee, okay? So Oxford Dictionary is saying a word or phrase that modifies or qualifies an adverb, verb, or another adverb, or a word group expressing a relation or place, the same thing. Cambridge is saying the same thing, a word that describes or gives more information about a verb and adjective and a verb, adverb or phrase in an adverb. Dictionary says the same thing. Now Grammar Point says a verb or an adjective modifier. A verb or an adjective modifier that answers the question when, where, how much, how long, or how often. So the word that answers this question is an adverb, okay? So there are kinds of adverbs, you will be looking into it, and our class will be finished now. So after finishing the class, what you do, there is a story uploaded. You watch the story and you take the test. And see you again on Friday, inshallah. Allah Hafiz, everybody.
Assalamu alaikum.
Go and watch the video now.